Hello, I'm Melinda Farrell with special guest Dirk Nannes here for the good, the bad and the ridiculous from day one of the first test. I'm with a man who encompasses all of those things, good, bad and ridiculous. Thanks for joining me.
In equal measure.
In equal measure. Slightly more ridiculous. Slightly more ridiculous. I can get away with that. Now, the idea is people have sent their nominations in. We're going to talk about them, and then you get the great honour of deciding on what was the most good, the most bad, and the most ridiculous.
Let's break it down.
Break it down. Okay, so we have cricket foot suggests the ridiculous. Ooh, that was spooky. Can you still see us? The ridiculous. Australia's bowling absolutely relentless. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
That was ridiculously good. That was incredible today. I can't remember a bowling unit not bowling bad balls almost for an entire day. There may be a handful, maybe 5, 6 bad balls for the entire day. It was extraordinary.
I think there were 4.5 I counted.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I think India actually did really well to get to the end of the day only 6 down. I thought any other team in the world may well have been all out.
I mean, they were so good. What about Cameron Green? As a fifth bowler making his debut, I thought he looked pretty special.
Not a bad guy to just slip into the side. Someone bowling 145 just as an all-rounder, just coming in for a first game. The first day for him. He'd be elated, and rightfully so.
Well, okay, so that's a very good nomination there for the ridiculous, but we got more. Pranav Anand suggests Lions' consistency with the line and length and Pujara's grit. That, for me, I love Pujara v Lion.
Is that good or bad or ridiculous?
Well, I think that's our choice. What category would you like to put that into?
I'd say that's good. I thought Pujara today, being able to withstand the onslaught, he only struck at 26 for a strike rate. Who strikes at 26?
Pujara, apparently.
That's it. That is his. If you could do a cardboard cutout of a Pujara innings, that was it. It's not spectacular, but my word, his consistency to be able to leave the ball was exceptional.
And not just that, the softness of his hands. I mean, I put it out there. Who has the softest hands? And Kane Williamson probably has softer hands than his newborn baby does. And Pujara, in Terminator, how Arnold Schwarzenegger pulls the flesh off his arm and it's all like metal. If you pull back the flesh of Pujara's arm, it would be cotton wool or goose down. He is the pillow Terminator.
And that's the ridiculous.
Well, I think that's, ridiculous. Okay. I'm ridiculous, I know. I'm so bad with, I'll get this right. Sudasharan says, as you see it, your choice, the Pujara walk that gave it away and helped Australia review the decision by the umpire. I like that one.
I mean, it was pretty out. Live, I absolutely agree with you. You've got to walk on those, though, don't you? I mean, for the ball to get to where it got to, around the corner at 45, it had to have hit the bat. It just had to. So I can understand Pujara start walking.
Yeah, but then he started walking. It was like basically when you see a kid who's been in the chocolate jar on a hot day and the chocolate's smeared all over their face, and then someone comes in and says, "Did you have the chocolate?" And they're like, "No." It was a bit like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot like that. Yeah, but you wonder whether who was down the non-strikers end. That was Virat at the time. Might have given it that one. Oh.
It didn't want him to go. You just don't want him to go.
Oh, I'm happy with him walking. That was pretty blatant.
It was very blatant. Now, Linux Lee suggests the ridiculous Rahane throwing away 2 wickets and a review. Probably can't blame him for the review. Well, at that point, last really good batter. But, okay, what do you make of that run out?
That run out was a shocker. And surely that has to be the most ridiculous thing of the day. Because even if, let's say all their stars aligned and they set off exactly when the call was yes, they probably only got 2/3 of the way down the pitch. I mean, it was such a clear torch. I said on air when I was calling that I've never seen a greater example of a batsman torching the other player down the other end, because normally they say, "Oh, you should have said no." No, that was just Rahane through and through, a complete stuff-up.
Yeah, I mean, what you really don't want to do is upset the captain before the next match. Oh, hang on.
Oh, you got a few months off without him. Oh, okay,
Mate,
no problem.
it's the ultimate alpha move, isn't it? Mate, I'm in charge of it. This is my series as captain. This is my series as captain here. How would the dressing room have been afterwards?
I think it's okay. I think they've been out there enough and played together enough that they realise there's no malice in it. It just happens.
It does. Now, Pranav Anand suggests Prithvi Shaw's gap between bat and pad was bad.
Fair, but
That can't happen to anyone, playing their first.
the ball's nipping in. He played a decent line. If you play that dismissal again on replay, he played the line that the ball was going down. The ball nips back in. Probably a leave rather than a glaring error of bat and pad. I'd say those sorts of balls, and that's a criticism that I've got with a lot of the Indian players when they played in Sydney, particularly in the first session of that, first innings of that tour game, is they just wanted bat on ball all the time. And that's probably something they have to get rid of.
Well, and also that means that because a lot of people were calling for Shabnam Gill to come in instead, that's going to give impetus to that. But look, hey, that can happen to anyone when they come out here. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Bharat Sundaresan says it's going to be Shaw's series. Well, he's death-ridden him. Jim Maxwell, the Jim Maxwell. Well, he says ridiculous. Further ridiculous. What about the short? What about one short? Ridiculous. Should have been overturned. What's the third umpire doing? That was that one run that Virat was robbed of.
Now, I love arguing with Jim normally, but this is one where I actually agree with him. If you can call no balls, why can't you call one short? It's not as though the situation of the game changed because he heard the umpire's call and changed his shot because someone said short run. Nothing changed.
No.
Just, what's the big deal? Just say, that wasn't one short, you stuffed up.
Yeah, I agree. Cricket has some ridiculous things. That goes in the ridiculous pile.
Cricket shoots itself in the foot far too often.
It really does. You're right. We've got some more. Now, Indian cricket fan says, Australian media coming up with the bromance between Virat Kohli and Stephen Smith. Smalley. Ridiculous. Have you heard that?
Smalley? That's absurd, not ridiculous. Like,
They're going to be calling this show Derlinda soon. Yeah, that's ridiculous. We'll give that one ridiculous.
better than Merc.
Smirk. Okay, Mike suggests going off, even though there's only 6 deliveries of the allocation left for the day, will never not be ridiculous.
Oh, overrates.
These people know me well.
And it gets talked about all the time. But the challenge I have, you look at what happened today and what happens so often in Test cricket. You've got one of the best bowling attacks in the world, if not the best bowling attack. There was no mucking around out there today. They bowled 6 no balls over the day. Do you punish a team for just going through the motions and performing as best as they can when they're not wasting time?
Yes, is the answer.
No, that's just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Correct. You're getting the hang of this.
I'm not having
Akash Bang suggests that it's ridiculous the lack of needle between the two teams. Australia being overly nice, especially to Kohli.
No, but hang on. You've got to understand the psychology of it. If you start having a go at Virat Kohli, he performs well. So you shut up, and that's what they've done. They've learned to just be quiet, not bait him into it, and just let him go about his business. They still made runs, didn't he? So it didn't work too well today. But you don't. I think the last few years has taught world cricket in general that you don't have to be an idiot to be a good cricketer. And I think for too long, teams were just yapping away for no real purpose.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's this. See this? See this? Goldilocks. You're all Goldilocks. And everything's too hot or too cold. It's never just right. They'll criticise them if they go on too much at each other. Criticise them if they don't. They're not a bowl of porridge, you know.
It's an extraordinary tirade.
A ridiculous one?
Ridiculous time.
And finally, Byhorse says, good. Chance to watch Test cricket again. Proper contest. Lovely surrounds.
A fantastic day of Test cricket. Just a straight out arm wrestle against two fantastic teams. If you were not a Test lover, you would come to today and think, what is the fuss about? Why do so many people watch this game? Because it's frankly the most boring thing in the world. But if you're a Test cricket lover, like I am, what a day of Test cricket. It had everything in it. Two great teams, arm wrestling through the day, no team really coming out on top. It's a great day of cricket for me.
And the only thing is, of course, it still leaves us room to moan about overrates. That's how you know Test cricket is back. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot. What wins for you for good?
Love Pujara leaving the ball. I love how soft hands he plays with and how teams just can't find a way to get him out until it was good fortune getting him around the corner. Okay,
so the Pillinator gets it for good. Bad?
Rahane's review. That was a shocker. And that wasn't his fault. That was Vihari down the other end. That was just dead out.
Okay.
Live, and it was even worse.
I don't think it's much competition for ridiculous in the end.
What a torch. You don't see a series could hinge on this dismissal. Oh.
Okay, so it's Flambe Kohli for the ridiculous. Thanks so much. You're really glad you stayed behind to do this, aren't you?
Oh, thanks for having me. It's always good fun. Good laugh for the day.
Yeah, you're always welcome back. Thanks for staying. Just remember, you can subscribe if you really want to. Have you subscribed yet?
I'm all over it.
Good. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, maybe not you. I'll see if I invite you back.